Hey y'all. Hello everybody. It's Lexi here. I'm the one in Two Sisters Locked. I'm the one of the Two Sisters Locked to have traditional locks. Alright y'all, people don't want me to be great. So we had to take it out in the front yard. Hello everybody, so good to see you. Before we go any further, do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe to our channel. Well, subscribe to our channel and like and comment on this video, okay? And then, of course, make sure you follow us on TikTok, Pinterest, Instagram. Those are where we are most active on. Yeah, we're trying to be more and more, working on trying to be more and more consistent. But, you know, we're kind of in transition and a lot of different things in our lives right now, and so it's kind of difficult, but we are most active on our like Instagram. So if you ever want to keep in touch, ask questions, get a quicker response to questions, all of that, Instagram is your best bet. So you have got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me, because I moved to the front yard and the other neighbor now has decided to use the same machine on their yard. That's crazy. That's actually, nobody wants me to be great today. Anyways,
Stores are like Chelsea change. Down the lights, spread the dimes. Time to spread this, your dreams dance at all. Godly thrones that be dancing, so lots of got to ransom, don't come at all.
okay, so today I wanted to talk about the things about my locks that I don't like, okay? Because I want to be super honest with you all. And, you know, as much as I love having locks and I love all of this and my process has been super good, my experience has been really good, there are things about my locks that I don't like. The first thing that drives me insane, no, I'm gonna do them in order of things that really make me upset the most. I have had, and oh my god, of course you can't see them really good here and you're not really gonna see it well, but I have been having a lot of hair that is growing away from the roots of my locks, and I'm not sure why. I've said this multiple times before, so I know y'all are probably tired of hearing me say it, but it's something that really is like super annoying. It's so annoying because like the rest of my locks will look really good and then the top just looks kind of crazy some days, you know? And I used to think that maybe it was something I was doing in terms of retwisting. So I've tried different retwisting strategies. I've had them like tuck hair back into my locks with a crochet hook. I have like started increasing the amount of times that I retwist. So I used to do like every 6 to 8 weeks. So like mainly 2 months really. And then these past like 8 months, I have actually started to do it on a monthly basis, retwist on a monthly basis to see if that helped, and it didn't help. So I used to think it was something that maybe I was doing, or, you know, that I needed to change my technique in some way. But I think maybe it's just that my roots are looking so much different to the rest of my hair, because the rest of my hair now is considered mature. Like before, when my actual lock shafts were frizzy and stuff like that, like everything was frizzy. My roots were frizzy, my locks were frizzy all here. But now that these are actually mature and this is unmature hair at the root, because you know the hair grows out of the root, so this part isn't fully locked yet like it is down here. I think that what it is now that this is mature, it's just really showing the difference between what is immature hair and what is mature hair. Does that make sense? Like I'm wondering if it really isn't anything that I'm doing differently and if it's always been that frizzy, but because the rest of my locks were frizzy, I didn't notice how frizzy my roots were. But now that my locks are mature and they're not as frizzy anymore, maybe it's just like really showing the difference, you know? So I've done a couple videos on our Instagram about it, and I've just decided to really just try and change my perspective about how I see my roots and that area, and that's really helped. I don't stress about it as much anymore. And honestly, usually like if I'm getting ready in the morning or I'm going to an event and I see my roots and I'm like, oh, my little hair is out, and I'm like annoyed with my hair, usually once I like take pictures that day and like kind of look back on it later, it's not as big of a deal as it was in the moment, you know? So just like trying to change my perspective about it, because usually it doesn't even look as bad as I think it does. But I think it's gonna get better because my mentality about it is gonna get better. Okay. The next thing is that my locks are layered, and they're almost at like a perfect layer, like literally the top half, because the top half of my locks, for two reasons, they're layered. The top half of my locks, like especially the front and stuff, were already shorter than the rest of my hair. And then second reason is, as my locks were starting to mature and starting to shrink up, my bottom layer shrunk up, locked in, done. My top layer shrunk up, locked in, and then shrunk again. So you'll even notice, like look how skinny this one is, and it's consistently the same thing, but you'll notice like here, these are much thicker. And so that's just like proof that like these like really did shrink up and got really like a lot thicker. I think probably that's caused by the difference in texture. I think maybe especially in the center, top center of my head, my hair in general was a lot thicker, and so it had more to like scrunch up and all that. But that means that since my top layer really did shrink up twice, they're like, I mean, I almost have like an exact, I'll just show you. I have almost like an exact, I don't know if I'm getting it good. I have almost an exact like layer. So it works great for like half up, half down styles. But when I want to put my hair in a bun, when I want to like do like one single braid going back, like I have a lot of hair sticking out, because the ones at the top are so much shorter than the ones at the bottom. So that's been kind of frustrating, because even though my hair is long enough that like I can do more, even look at this right here. If you're looking at just my top layer, this is how the length of my hair. Right? Like, look, this is the length of my hair. If you're looking, this is a perfect way to show. This is the length of my hair. And then when you get the bottom, then the bottom gives you the rest of it, and you can see like almost a defined line right there. So it's fine, because, you know, whatever, it's, I mean, I still like my locks, but it can be frustrating to try to do certain styles because they're not all the same length. So I will say, you know, I started off with length. My hair was already like, not quite mid-back, but you know, my hair did come like here. My locks are maybe just a little longer at this point than my loose natural hair. But my loose natural hair was a little bit shorter than this. So I started with length, and that's the thing when you start with length, is that you have like differing textures and differing lengths to begin with, and so your locks kind of do their thing. But I do find that people who have started off with short baby locks, you know, where their hair was really short and they had the short little comb coils, I feel like their locks are more symmetrical and they're all the same length, because they all, like if you did like the big chop and then did locks, like your hair started all at the same length. So you know, not something I hate, but it can be frustrating, right? And just something to consider if you're considering doing locks and you're trying to figure out, should you cut off all your hair or should you like keep the length? The benefits of the length is that, you know, some people really don't like when their hair is short and their locks are like starting to mature and they start to like stick out all over the place, or they're really short, they can't pull it into a ponytail or whatever. You know, if you want to start with length, you'll avoid those types of things when you're those stages, because I could always from the beginning pull my hair back into a ponytail or a bun. But then again, in the long run, they might not be like super perfect. They're not going to be super symmetrical and like all the same length and all the same size. So kind of pick your poison, whatever. Do what's best for you. So there's that. Oh my goodness, y'all, this lint. In general, knock on wood, where's some wood? Oh, the chairs have wood. So far, lint hasn't been the worst thing in the world, but I will say this bottom row, literally just the very bottom or right against my neck, has been struggling with this lint so hard. Yo, like it's gotten to the point, I'm gonna show y'all right now. The two in the corner especially are the worst, and it's gotten to the point where these are just too short. Y'all see this? Everything else on this row I've like let grow out, but this one here, the two corners get it the worst. This, I don't even let them grow out, because when they get longer, it's not even like just a little piece of lint here or there. Like it's like the whole lock is completely covered in lint, seeable lint. Like, yeah, I probably have lint all throughout my locks, but you can't really see it. You know, I pick out whatever I can find, but usually it's like minimal amounts. You really can't see it at all unless you were to cut into the lock and dig out from the center of the lock. But with these two in the corners at the nape of my neck, the whole shaft is covered in like white and gray lint. And so when I see it, I just I literally just cut it short every time, because I don't want that long. I mean, it's pretty bad. And next time I have to cut it again, I'll probably show you guys a picture of it so you can see. But yeah, it's been hard. So that has been hard, because I'm like, I mean, I can still pull my hair up and do whatever I want to do with it. If they're too short for the style or whatever, I just get a pin and pin them up. So it hasn't been terrible, but I wonder if I will ever grow those two out long, because they look so bad. They look so bad, and the locks get so weak. Because I mean, it's not like I said, it's not like a little bit of lint. It's like a thick piece of lint directly in the. It's terrible. So yeah, that's something else. Other than those three things, I think everything is great. I feel like they're still pretty full. I don't really experience too much. Let me see, is this the one? There's one lock that I have. Some of them I will say are like thinner up here than at the bottom. I can't tell if that's because they need time to mature, or if that's because this is all like the shrinkage from my loose natural hair that had to shrink up and get locked in. I'm not quite sure. Only time will tell. I would love to hear what things you guys don't like about your locks. I'm not trying to like create negative energy, but I think it's like best to be honest about how we feel. Like, just because you have a few things about your locks doesn't mean that you don't like locks or that you shouldn't have gotten them. But I think that it really like creates like a full complete picture for people who are considering getting locks. And I also think that like as people, you know, I think everybody at some point is going to have some struggles or perceptions about their locks that they're not, you know, maybe not really their favorite. And I think that it's best to be honest about that, so that when people are at home in their bathroom like freaking out about something about their locks, they're not frustrated and thinking that everybody else's locks were perfect, because that's what they see on social media. But they know, hey, we all go in the bathroom and we look in the mirror and see parts of our hair that we don't really like or whatever, and then, you know, you may look at it the next day and not see what you thought you saw. So I think it's best to be honest. So comment below like some things you wish you had done differently with your locks, you know, and stuff like that, and let us know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Don't forget to comment, like this video, subscribe to our channel so you can keep up with our videos, and go ahead and follow us on Instagram, TikTok, and Pinterest at the #2 Sisters Locs. And we'll see you guys next time.